Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's Nexus Gaming Series cast. This is my first cast of this season 13, and we have been starting off with two teams I actually used to play for. The first being Souls and Slowmo on the left in the blue, and on the right we have 30 seconds to Mosh. Right, enough of the intro. Let's actually cut on over to the map view screen to see where we've started, where we're going, and I'll see you in just a few seconds.
Leonidas drops the stun and drops the full ult. Oh my goodness, look at the health bars. It's a quad kill.
Should find the kill. Lunara will clean up that fight. Oh my god, I can't believe it. It is going to be Soul Shield. You gotta be kidding me. And Ron attack the 3v1. Gets one. Looking for the second. Crispy is popping off.
That Blizzard may connect with 4 people. Lady Ronin. Oh my goodness, what a chat.
That was really good.
Yep, again, welcome to the series of Souls and Slowmo vs. 30 Seconds to Mosh. As we can see, we will be starting off with a Infernal Shrines map. I'm not sure who picked the map. I don't get to see that one advance from doing replays, just because I don't like to spoil myself the series. However, I can see at least the map bans. Souls and Slowmo turned out to ban both the Towers of Doom and Battlefield of Eternity, while 30 Seconds to Mosh elected to ban Tomb of the Spider Butts, as some people would like to call it, but Tomb of the Spider Queen, as well as Paraxis Holdouts. Anyway, that was enough of that. Let's jump on into the game, as I do have it open and ready, so let's jump on over. If it sounds wants to work. There we go. Anyway, let's look. I have pushed the wrong button! Amazing, this is why I'm just going to cut it. There we go. So right, on the right side of 30 Seconds to Mosh, we have I'm a Burb on the Sonya, Born to Shine on Anduin, Dire Pants on a variant, I'm going to assume Taunt, the Captain on Jaina, as well as we have Anaressa on Raynor. On the left-hand side, we have Toxic Core on Nubrak, Nemesis on Kael'thas, Lone Wolf, no, XX, Lone Wolf XX on the Hogger, Mimias on the Rhaegar, and Jep on the Vala. So I actually quite like the comp here, but we do see an interesting 1-3-1 already. So it may just be clear wave, see what happens, clear wave, see what happens. Hogger already rotating up because we do see Sonya top. Vala similarly rotating down bot as we do see Raynor pushing in that bottom lane already. Let me zoom all the way out just because this is an interesting map. And I do actually like that 30 Seconds to Mosh are kind of just respecting the side of Souls and Slowmo here in terms of if they have a decent amount of burst. If Toxic Core manages to get a stun on someone here with that Nubarak, they should die in theory, as we can see that warning going out here. However, 1-3-1 means that they will still be getting similar amounts of soak and not trying to give too many stacks to things such as the Vala, who is going the Hungering Arrow build. As we saw, they got quite aggressive on Dire Pants here. Other things to note is Conviction. Born is now in the wrong place at the wrong time. That is a dive onto them, and as I said, if they catch someone out of position, they will go down, and that camp top, and that red camp, 30 Seconds to Mosh camp, will now go over to the side of Souls in Slowmo. Question note, as I was trying to say, we do see the Conviction from Kael'thas. Even though there was quite a Mosh there, Vala didn't actually get a Q stack off. Interesting, but Q's from Vala. And those are actually only quests. We do see Raynor is that split push build, the Exterminator, and we do just see Sonya try their best into Lone Wolf. I'm a Burb into Lone Wolf. It is a little bit of a rough start for Sonya, I believe, if Hogger hits all their abilities. However, that Slam build, once you start getting level 4 onwards, does pack quite a punch. Cabinet Orquisition giving over that first stack Conviction. However, Conviction isn't permanent if you die before the 20. It is actually up. Oh, well, there we go. Good dodge. Toxic Core going quite deep under. Dive Pants doesn't have their taunt yet. That's the main thing to note. They will be waiting for. That was a good Flame Strike. Excellent. Anyway, we do see Raynor just respecting this mid. If Toxic Core is missing from map, you cannot kind of. Sorry, I should not say. I just say a Nubarak. And because a Nubarak in general, if they're missing from map, you really can't get away with doing much. Because if a Nubarak dies on you, that typically can be a death sentence, especially if you are alone, much like Raynor, good old Jimmy Raynor is here. Anyway, we do see the objectives being called soon. Ooh, Anaressa is taking damage. That's a good Q to push him away. That's only, again, 2 stacks of Vala. We see Dire Pants soaking mid. I do like that this camp is actually being grabbed now. Oh, I should have done that, because that means that this camp will be pushing nowhere near objective. And Dire Pants is looking for a taunt kill? Even then, no one is close enough. It's just a more a harass. But yep, we are coming up to this next objective. These camps are defendable, or at least near the objective. Mamias is pushing onto there. We do actually have a decent push coming on here to mid. But this first objective phase should be where it gets interesting, because both teams actually have very good objective fight. And now that we're past level 4, the red team actually has a tank. And the thing about Anubrak, yeah, sure, they have great blow-up potential because of their double stun. They don't survive a lot in terms of damage that's onto them. Diapant's doing a lot to keep alive. We've got Bomb of him. Bomb doesn't get spread to any of the rest of the allied team. But this objective isn't over yet. It is only 22. We haven't quite hit that 30 mark. 30 mark is where things get quite difficult. But we can see that then the red team is not really wanting to step in. 36 is the Mosh team, but kind of thrown off here. That is Toxical diving on the backline. That is a taunt coming out, and that is a Nubrak dead, just as I said. They are very susceptible once they push their E button. However, that is still objective going over the side of the Souls and Slowmo. However, missing a tank makes it a bit harder. Captain is in the wrong place. And that will be Jaina going down. Burr barely escaping. Hogger actually pushes them further out of danger. They went down to 26. If even just one of these kind of bars touched for Sonya, Sonya was dead. That is a decent jump to get off. However, Mamias does get speared onto by Burr. Burr spinning in, does get the stun from the Kale Fist. Diapants wanting to step up. Can't quite catch up to the Rhaegar, but ultimately it is Rhaegar at the end of the day. They have a lot of self-sustain. That tower's getting very low and will go down thank you to those spinning lasers. Oh, and Anubrak's just been pushing mid. Interesting strategies here, just kind of split push. It's getting a decent amount done. And we can now see that the team of Souls and Slowmo is a bit ahead. But it should be interesting to see where it goes now that we have Varian here taunted up and ready. We see Taunt come out. That's a decent amount of damage coming out onto Anubrak. However, Anubrak does get out. They did still have a burrow up as they just kind of moseyed on into a bush. And the red team had already used all their kind of major cooldowns on the camp. Hogger's getting this now. It does seem a bit late just because objectives have come and gone. Sonya's going to grab mid, rotate back up, so that's fine. Toxic Core now uses one of his stuns. Which means Armor Burb is relatively safe from any kind of double stun follow-up. And Diapants is looking hungry. I would like to see a collapse before 10 comes out, just because I want to see which way this would go. But that is nothing really coming of that. Jaina uses her W, which means a lot of the tank kill is gone, but it does clear that wave just that bit faster. Warning pings coming out. We're getting very close to the level 10s for the side of Souls and Slowmo. Things to know. Convection isn't complete yet. That means it can still be dropped. Jep gets taunted. That's a good unstop. That unstop will actually do a lot to mess with the taunt comp. It's a thing to note that Purge is now baseline on Rhaegar. Rhaegar can just push that button whenever he wants. Oh, not whenever he wants. Every 45 seconds. That is 10. That is not necessarily a fight fit now. 30 seconds Mosh wants to take. Souls and Slowmo may be very much looking for it. However, they are missing someone, and speaking about missing, Toxic Core doesn't quite hit the stun. Armor Burb takes a decent amount of damage there, however, it does not go down. And that's just Sonya. Sonya can take a lot of damage and not die. They know they can... Okay, so Blue just pushing a little bit more here. Doesn't get too much... Can't go too much further up, because then we're getting into a bit of a gankable area, this area here. However, Jep is stepping up early. Rhaegar may have Purge back off cooldown, but there are the 20s. Not 20s, there are the 10s. And let's actually go over what each of the teams picked in terms of ults, because I know objective's going to be called very soon, and people are probably just going to be clearing things, making sure nothing too much gets taken. Anyway, we see Kalephis went Pyroblast. Ancestral Healing from Rhaegar. Earth Shaker. Shockwave from Hogger. I did not even know. Unubrak went the Cocoon, and Vala went Rain of Vengeance. That took too long for me to remember. Alright, so we see Born to Shine going the Light Bomb. Jaina went Water Elemental. Varian obviously went Taunt at level 4, but then went the Charge upgrade at 10. That's an excellent leap onto the backline. Is spinning. That is now a good separate of the team. That is actually Toxical taking a lot of damage. Ancestral Healing does come out. That is a web coming out onto Diapants. Diapants, however, does get out of it. Armor Burb getting very low themselves. However, that is Varian in an awkward position. That will be Varian going down. And Orisa does drop the Hyperion, which I haven't quite mentioned yet. And that will be that fight done. That was a lot of ultimates. Actually, every single button was pushed that fight, but however, that will be just the variant going down. Very good that more didn't happen. However, unfortunately for 30 seconds to Mosh, that will be during... That objective phase has just come up, so that means now they're missing their tank to really push in. They will get it before the tank should be back before the 30 mark, considering they don't have the fastest clear of out Hogger, but Hogger is just getting back now. I'm a Burb stepping in despite the lack of variant. Variant's still a good few seconds away. I'm a Burb just wanting to slow down their progress a bit. And actually it looks like the red team of 30 seconds is electing to just let blue side of Souls and Slowmo just take this. Which, all in all, I don't hate it all that much. You are almost definitely losing top here because it is a frozen Punisher. But the problem is now you don't want them to snowball into the... Keep. Yeah, keep. Anyway, let's just look here what's happening. Yep. That's objective going down. That's fine. Raynor in an awkward position. But there's, again, we still have a variant comp here that can still block anyone up. You see totem upgrade. But we're just seeing that full totem build, aren't we? Yeah, we're just seeing full totem build from Rhaegar. So the typical Rhaegar special currently is just totems were recently quote-unquote nerfed. They made it much later here. That is a Cocoon going out very early onto the Jaina. But all in all, ultimately no harm done. It was just an ult push. It meant the Punisher could last a bit longer, but I think Jaina had already used her major cooldowns. That is the last jump from Punisher, and the Punisher won't find his kill today. Anyway, we do see the blue team rotating out. Burb in a precarious situation. However, they do have Leap if need be, and there it is. Leap to safety. It's a short enough cooldown of 60 seconds, so they'll have that up very likely before the next fight. I'm going to close this and actually have a look at other buttons here, because I know it changed recently. Ah, there we go. Let's just have a look at XP. That's the reason why, and we can actually look at why the blue team of Souls and Slowmo is actually ahead currently. Oh, Jaina, you need your Blizzard back as soon as possible. There's Blizzard back. I'm going to close this because we do have a fight breaking out. We have Toxic Core dropping down to half health. Thankfully, that Ancestral Healing does come out. Taunt was used, so we still have another 10 seconds till that kind of tool is back. That was Ancestral. Ancestral is a very long cooldown of 100 seconds. So now that is that burst protection gone. So 30 seconds to Mosh need to find a pick before, essentially before Ancestral comes back. Their window is that 100-second window, so you can get maybe 6, 7, 8 taunts off in that time. 16 seconds. Yeah, 7. Let's go with 7. So, like, Varian can actually get the kill now that that's Ancestral down. And Rhaegar could have gone the extra burst protection with the Lightning Shield doing shielding. However, they do have that extra sustain from the totem, which is just better in general for the objective itself. Diapants wanting to step up. Then that is just Vala just kind of saying nope and just doing a little bit of a chunk to the captain, making sure they can't step up. We do have Sonya getting side, so it's still actually pretty close, all considering. We have 2 buildings down, and they're actually a level advantage of in the favor of Souls and Slowmo. However, that doesn't mean by any means that the red side is out of it. Myers does drop the totem. It was not much done of that, it's just a totem. Stun comes out on Armor Burb. That is a leap. Light Bomb stays on him. That is Mamias actually getting hit. And that will be the Rhaegar going down. However, Jaina is traded for it. But that is a... No, that is not a good fight. That is a 3-for-1. Very likely a 4-for-1. Going to be in the favor of Souls in Slowmo. That was a bit too aggressive by the sides of 30 seconds to Mosh, as they were fighting under a gate, so to speak. They, in all intents and purposes, Souls and Slowmo had 2 extra kind of... Well, 1.5 maybe. Extra players adding damage to that fight, because towers, while I mock them for how little damage they do, they still add up. So now we do have a momentum very much in the blue team's favor. Souls and Slowmo do kind of have a run of a map currently, and as you see, they're just kind of getting the camps in their favor, making sure the buildings are theirs. However, I would like to see a bit more aggression on mid here, but that's neither here nor there. They're doing what they can to kind of remove any extra XP that Souls 30 seconds to Mosh can squeeze out. Man, I'm having a tough time remembering. These are both teams I played for, so just the names, I'm just like, this team. Right, anyway, we do have a lot of wave clear actually on the side of Souls and Slowmo. You do see this just going down pretty quick. Toxic Core standing quite aggressive. If Taunt does go out of them, they can very much die. Just the red team does need all their abilities. And that is a good spear onto Toxicore, but that is Cocoon coming up very early. Didn't quite have a damage in position, however, that is a burrow out. Taunt coming back up in 8, but that will not look like... Oh, that is a leap, does hit just for Hogger. Hogger then gets the shockwave out. Ironbird spinning over that. Hogger does get an awkward spin. That is a double stun coming out. That is Ironbird getting very low. Bomb is about to get spread to the rest of the team. And the rest there, and Ironbird getting very low. Captain does not appear to be... Oh, they're living. That is an excellent pull from Born to Shine as Cap does get out of that fight, barely. The question here is who is going to be eating the Immortal Jump, and it looks likely to be Anaressa. However, whoever gets jumped here is likely going to die, as Anubarak can and will burrow. Good pull from Bonshine meant that whoever ate the jump didn't die. Oh, that's a Bigger Blizzard, my word. I haven't actually looked at the talents recently. Yep, that is Bigger Blizzard indeed. Anyway, I know that they like that talent. It works out for most of the time. Born is actually the worst target to get jumped. They do get the stun circle out, but they will go down before it pops, however. And that is a bad time to lose your healer. You see 30 seconds of Mosh going under the core. Not 30 seconds. 30 seconds of Mosh defending their core as Souls and Slowmo are pushing in. And that is Convection done, and that is the Sonya dead. Diapant's getting very low. That is Jaina. Cocoon. Toxicore actually going down. Anaressa does find the kill. Shockwave comes out, hits both Anaressa and Diapants. The Captain not quite holding on. They do go down in the end. Hogger taking a little bit of damage, however, it does look like the team of Souls and Slowmo are going to end here. They're actually taking a lot of damage for what it's worth, and that's actually Hogger going down under core. Can the red team defend? Jep takes a lot of damage for their trouble, and will Mamias have the heal up? The Kael'thas gets the stun. That will be all that is for that push. Diapants doesn't quite hit the Q. If they manage to hit the Q, that might have been follow-up. Just because, oh no, they're not being extra slow, but that Q does slow as well. The Lion's more. That is a pretty close defense actually for the side of 36's Mosh. A bit rough that the side of Souls and Slowmo did lose both their frontliners and that, because they very much could have ended. That call went to 20, well, less than 20, 19%. That is very much a, if your front line's alive, you win. But unfortunately for Souls and Slowmo, very fortunate for Vegas and Mosh, they found those picks. Kael'thas is in a very dangerous position considering I'm a Burb is leap. Any swishy stepping up to this right now is not having the best of days, at best. Anyway, we do see the red team back up. Captain, I didn't actually check. They were a little bit out of position there compared to the rest of the team, but all in all, they didn't. The Souls and Slowmo didn't have Lone Wolf up, so it's not much I could have done there. And the Raynor drops Hyperion on the tower. So good old Jimmy special of drop ability, run away. Okay, red team, you do actually. There we go, the camp was finished. Sonya, a bit of a dangerous position. They do still have leap up. And you do see them leap out. They were a bit scared of Toxic Core doing the healing. That is a lot of buttons push. I'm a Burb taking a lot of damage. They actually get out of the range of Pyroblast. They actually add a lot of damage. Those Qs are starting to chunk, as we do see Vala is on 32 stacks for Hungering Arrow. Right, but now we just see the red team of 36 and Mosh just wanting to get to the objective. Not get to the objective. Get to their 20s. Just because they know they have to fight this. Fortunately for them, it's the Arcane Shrine in the middle. Varian now in a dangerous position does mount up and run back through the core. Nemesis isn't quite close enough to drop the E. However, it does appear that there is a core. However, with just how long they were showing, it meant now that red team is there to defend. Waylay is popped. And that is actually Hogger losing a lot of her health. It does appear to be double Ancestral, but however, that is them going down before the second Ancestral pops. Anaressa does get Pyroblasted, however, they were on full health. That's not necessarily killable, as Conviction under there. That is a second kill for the side of red, however, Jaina does fall. And that is actually a second core attempt that's kind of just not working out for Souls and Slowmo. This is turning out to be a good defense for Phoenix and Mosh, especially if they're down 20, so it'd be interesting to see where we go from here. And Born Shine is just healing stuff up. Diapant's in a bit of an awkward position. They don't have the rest of the team to follow to protect them. They are doing their best to stay alive. However, wrong place, wrong time. Varian, your son is not there to save you. And that is Varian dead. However, good thing to note that it is still a 3v3. If they are able to find a pick with Sonya and Anduin now, very much the red team can get back in this. However, this is still a very menacing thing to kind of push into. Anduin does call the light bombers ready in 5 seconds. You see it up now. I'm a Burb does eat a stun, and there's a lot of Qs starting to come out from Jep. I'm a Burb taking a lot of damage. Thing to note, there is a big wave on core, but Jaina did just respawn to kind of protect it. And a rescue him. That is a good leap. That is unstock coming out. Jep has to roll. Toxicore does eat the stun from the light bomb. Verb does roll back out. Just they were eating a bit too much damage. And Aressa dropping the Hyperion. Okay, red team now in an awkward position. They are missing their front line. Still in basically all the team members for Souls and Slowmo are back now. I'm a Verb does get hit with that cocoon, but it is the Punisher going over the side of Souls and Slowmo. Be interesting what happens with it to see whether they just go with a Punisher. It's an arcane one, not amazing. However, it can still get the work done. Born, you are not the one wanting to take that. Yep, Diapants steps up. We see the Varian wanting to take the leap. As well, Varian's the tankiest one and can't eat it all. However, blue team doesn't really capitalize on the Punisher's jump, even though they do have a very good dive into it. We do see the damage coming out. That Punisher is starting to rack up. The damage on that building actually going down very quick. I'm a Burb does get leaped. We do see a little bit of stun coming out into Diapants from Toxic Core. However, that is the Punisher going down now. And we looks like we may have a core call. That is leap coming out. Excellent double stun. Jep gets a roll. Goes down before the Ancestral Healing could go off. And that is yet another core defense under core by 30 seconds to Mosh. My word. This is turning into a very interesting game. What could have just very much been an end maybe 8 minutes ago now is just kind of taking more and more time. And now we just see, yeah, the red team is taking blue's camps. They know they can win these fights. We do see that aggression coming out, but still all 6 buildings are up for the side of Souls and Slowmo, while 36 to Mosh are still just kind of getting they're barely holding on with their top keep. They're barely holding on with core. But it looks like they are starting to open up that mid lane. As I accidentally click on the banner of Dalaran. It has a health bar. That will be that wave being deleted. And that is actually the very first fort that the team of 30 Seconds to Mosh have gone in this game. Captain does manage to dodge Toxic Core. Doesn't quite hit the E, but Toxic Core is taking a lot of damage. That is a taunt going out there, barely in that circle. That is stun going out. Ancestral was used here, only a 10-second cooldown. However, that bug did die. And that will be yet another kill for 30 Seconds to Mosh. Ooh, Souls and Slowmo really need to start playing far more passively. We just keep seeing these kind of snappy tempo picks happening by 30 Seconds to Mosh, and it is kind of getting hard for Souls and Slowmo to get in, because these are getting to be long timers. Diapants sitting in the awkward position does feel like taking a little bit of a fire circle to the foot, and that was actually very dangerous by the captain there doing that camp alone. If it was invaded, they would have gone down, undoubtedly. Oh. Where are you walking off to? Jaina's journey. Anyway. Let's see what else is happening. We're just getting a lot of lane defense happening here. I would like to see that just... Oh, yeah. Nope, we're not pushing up there. This here I'd like to see just someone getting caught out. Jaina's not there for blow-up. That's a lot of damage missing from a Varian blow-up comp. You do really need that Jaina. And we do see the scouting here. Born to Shine does drop the light bomb on him. That is leap hitting the Vala. That's a lot of damage coming out. That is that splash and Hestra coming up. However, Sonya goes down first. Diapants is going down very quickly. That is Hogger going no control. Captain taking a lot of damage. Born also does hit the root onto Hogger. Hogger means it can't follow up on him. Born uses that W to escape. Thank you to that. Speed boost. Speed of a Pious. But however, that is 3 team members down from the red team. So that should likely be a end here by Souls and Slowmo. As much as I've liked the red team's defense so far, 2v5 is very much an uphill battle when there's only 90% of health on core plus that 25% shield. Looks like it's going down, and that will be the first game going over to the side of Souls in Slowmo, and there are the GGs. Anyway, let me just push on over here and change on over to the stats screen. If I push the right buttons, this. I need to figure out how to get rid of this text block, my word. Anyway, we can see that it was a lot of Vala came out from the damage. A lot of damage came out from Vala, hitting 72k, 15k. I'm not good at maths. 15k higher than the next on Kael'thas. It was very much. It did seem like a lot of a Souls and Slowmo map for a lot of the early game, and even into the late game. They did just hit quite a snag in the late game where they did just keep awkwardly losing 1 or 2 people at a time, and it just meant 30 seconds to Mosh were able to stay in it a lot longer than they should have for that map. That was a lot of 16% on the. That was 90% of the core for the better part of maybe 10 minutes, where the blue team should have very much been able to end. Just each time was a bit awkward. However, the final fight at the end just was enough to end it all. Anyway, I'm just going to briefly show talents, just a thing to note here. We do see 51 stacks on Vala, which is a considerable amount, especially with that Acrobat at 20. Other things to note here. Not really. We see Convection. Well, yeah, Convection did appear to pay off here. It's still questionable going, but Kael'thas was a little bit pressured. Kael'thas was able to get away with a lot this game, considering they got Convection off and then still got out quite a bit of damage. Anyway, I'm going to throw it quickly over back to the map view screen as I am going to take a quick break as I'll put on some music, get the next map ready, and I'll see you all in a few moments. My husband is dead. That's right. We have a Dragonshy match. I didn't load it up before I came back talking, so yeah, we are here. We'll see how this goes. We do see that Souls and Slowmo did win the last map, and I know apparently that they have a very good win rate on this map historically, but very much the same thing can be said for 30 seconds to Mosh. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. However, that sounds like the game. So let's head on over into the game screen, if I do this right. Ha! Excellent, I did it right. Anyway, we see Lone Wolf on the Blaze, Nemesis once again on the Kael'thas, Jep once again on Vala, Toxic Core on the ETC, and Mamias on Lucio. I can only imagine that the Rhaegar was banned out this time. Anyway, on the right side, we do see I'm a Burb on the. I should know off the top of my head. It's Rexar. I just forgot. Dire Pants on the Muradin. Captain on the Jaina once again, and Aressa on Hoppy Deer, Lunara, because Hoppy Deer best deer, and Born to Shine on that Stukov. We got some very good characters for this map. Be interesting where we go. We get some very good teamfight teams by both sides. Just Souls and Slowmo have a bit more of a kind of combo comp, toxic, but they can pick with ETC, do not get me wrong, Diapants wanting to be just a bit of a nuisance, does eat a Q for his endeavors, and just checking whether that is Q quest once again. Indeed is, and actually that is Misha going down. Monster Hunter at 1 for, where's the Monster Hunter? Puncturing Arrow, sorry, for Vala at 1. Kael'thas went Convection once again, be it what you may. That is the E quest, Prog Rock? Yeah, Prog Rock for ETC, and moving with, I don't know, Party Mix for Lucy, I don't know, I don't see this that one often. And on the right side, we actually have no quests. Boo. Nah, it's alright, because we do have the baselines of... Well, I guess this isn't even a quest anymore. Stormbolt just kind of appears at 10 now. It doesn't matter either way. Anyway, we do also see that Jaina does have her baseline at 1 as well. And, right, that is actually much more even this time. We haven't had anyone die awkwardly at the moment. Diapants is getting a little bit of objective, does back out. And this is where Rexar actually is going to shine. This is known as one of their best maps for a reason. We have Imaburb here just soaking that kind of lane, while Misha was taking top. However, we see on the bottom here that the blue team very much has the lead. However, Giants, still two Giants up 36 Mosh, and this one Giant up here. That was a good stun by Diapants, Mamias will go down. And that is that good kill going over to the side of 36 Mosh, getting first blood this time as opposed to the enemy team. There will be fours coming in for both sides, it doesn't really matter. There are a few key talents here, I believe. I'm just reading, just checking this. Yeah, we do get Vala roll again, so that reset. Diapants does take quite a bit of damage, but does have that Dwarven block. And we do have the Rexar still just having a think. And that was a very quick DK. Anarisa picks up that Dragonite very quick, and it looks like we're going to have a little bit of drive bottom. Jep just following along, but does get booted for their sins? I don't know what you want to call it. For their attempt? Yeah, either way, Narnia. And we do see Rexar does pick up that level 4 quest for one I so dearly love when playing Rexar myself. Diapants in an interesting spot looking for the dive. Jep now just finding a crouching Muradin. Oh, that was a crowd surfer from Toxicor. I love it. I love this talent a lot. I think some people have said it's a bit of a bait. I don't think it's a bit of a bait. I love it. It's just great to slide for a wall and just mosh immediately. I would like to see it happen here. However, we can't guarantee any for certain. Dragonite getting very low, 5% left. And that will be the Kael'thas just finishing off that DK, as now we see 13 stacks on Convection. I really need to do like Convection bets here if I even knew how to do bets on my channel, but I don't, so it doesn't really matter now, does it? Anyway, we do see Imaburb in an interesting spot. They were getting that double soak while the rest of the team was pushing bot. We do see now that there's just a little bit of extra squeeze coming out, and that means 7s are found by 36 Mosh early. And if we look at what top button is it, XP total, we do see that in terms of minions quite close, but there is a little bit of edge from 36 Mosh. Let me just put it here, I don't know what's happening. Shift Z. Yeah, let's just zoom out all the way. 36 Mosh do have that little bit of an advantage in terms of minion soak as well as hero soak, but everything else is relatively even. I say camps being slightly different, structures also being up a bit just because they do have found those towers so far, but all in all, it is still anyone's game. Anyway, I'm just going to close that again as we see 12 teams have picked up their Bruiser. What did Lunara go? Okay, Nexus culling, so they do have an extra kind of kill for not just structures. Is it structures? I don't know. I can't remember this talent. I don't play Lunara. Non-hero, so yeah, anything that's not hero. So camps, structures, minions, etc, etc. It's why she's good on BOE, because she has decent burn. It's why this team is good. That's why she's good on this map, because it does a lot to this. Maybe not to the DK. It is count as a hero for those sorts of things. However, it is still much of a muchness. Captain's sitting in an interesting position away from the rest of his team. Sure, Muradin's close enough to jump, but I'd like to see an invade here, and yep, we do see it coming out. Captain and Arisa do get a little bit distracted by Mamias on the Lucio there, and the red team decides to abandon the invade instead. Meanwhile, Blaze has actually been a bit bullied this game, I've noticed. They have to keep back. They do sure have still this up, but there is definitely a lot of pressure coming out from Imaburb on that Rexar. We should have probably already sent Misha onto the point now. There it is. And Nemesis actually looking to cover the soak. It's not really in a position for a gank, but yep, Imaburb manages to dodge the Convection, and that will actually be an interesting thing to push into for the red team. Misha does eat a stun. It's Misha. She can do that. She can eat damage. She can eat stuns. Blue team was very much watching that mid. However, all through that time, bottom has been getting taken by the red team. Bornstein getting very low, but walking up into the... I was going to say the worst place possible, but Lone Wolf barely missing that stun. Bornstein able to get out, and that is the building taken by 36 of Mosh, meaning that is now 10s for their team. We do see control... It's not control. Chaos still 20. Is flailing swipes at 10. Unleash the Boars from Rexar. Jaina went that waylay once again for Water Elemental. We see the survivability from Muradin with that Avatar, and Lunara went Leap. Toxicor is now in a bit of an awkward position, and they die. Wow, that was quick. Misha is getting hit by Jep, and oh, they managed to dodge the Q. Good work, Misha. You're a good bear, aren't you? Good girl. Anyway, we do see the top getting flipped over to red side, top getting flipped over blue once again, so they can't really do anything here. And I don't know how I feel about this tactic. No, I've pushed on ECC, it's not what I want. I don't know how I feel. I don't know if a 3v1 is kind of worth the time. It means I'm a Burb's doing their job excellently, but this Misha kind of does need to die. I should note that there is a lot of stacks coming out. That probably is why they're all here and just kind of letting the other two do their thing. As we do see, Conviction is complete. That's a nice stun from Misha. However, that is Misha going down. Boars come out, not really doing much more, but that'll be now this top getting pushed down. However, you can't just take well anymore. Anyway, we do see kind of the same happening bottom. However, the two tanks not really holding out well into all this damage, and the front line of Muradin doing a lot as well. Diapants does use jump, does hit Stormbot onto Toxicor. Toxicor eating decent damage for it. That will likely be Mosh coming out. No, it is actually Stage Dive, and look at that. Lucio went Beat Drop, and there's Stage Dive going top. No, Stage Dive going on to the objective. We're getting a lot of pings out. And actually, this may be objective going over to... Never mind, NRS repaired. Lucio now in a bit of an awkward position. And that is a nice leap, meaning they aren't hit by Conviction. There is, however, fight going bottom. Toxicor eating a lot of damage, and that is a good slide, meaning they get to live. However, Lone Wolf is kind of left of Wolf, so to speak, as Diapants hitting the Suns. Lone Wolf now in awkward position. Captain getting a lot of damage out. Diapants hits and does get the kill. Thank you to the teamwork there. Toxicor going very low. Does slide in. Not what I would have done. Born to Shine takes it out with the flaming swipes. And Arisa now hitting Mamias. Mamias taking a lot of damage. And actually, that is now objective going over to the side of the red team. Not picked up yet, but that is a Vala in a melee range of a Rexar. And that is Vala going down as Rexar gets their main power spike at 13. Thank you to that aspect of the Hawk. Other ults to mention that I should actually haven't mentioned yet, as we do see combustion from Blaze. It is a choice. Probably not the choice that I would recommend. I do think Punk is a very good ult. But it'll be interesting to see how Combustion Blaze out. No, DK was once again taken by Anaressa for the side of 30 seconds to Mosh. We did see Vala use her Rain of Vengeance there, and they didn't really... They still kind of went down, but that's neither here nor there, just because Rexar is a very hard person to fight in top lane, no matter who you are. And we do see the Pyroblast coming out from Kael'thas once again. DK in a bit of an awkward position, does decide to retreat to the team, does start to get a few hits in the building. Vala doing their best to stack off that DK, wanting the damage, and Toxicor gets punted. Maybe not the target, but it is definitely a target. That is building going down. Jep in a bit of an awkward position. Diapants, do they have jump up? What number are you? 9. They did have jump up, I believe, but they're not choosing to go in. Let's have a just double check. Yeah. Anyway, I like this call immediately. Rexar still kind of pushing top. Fortunate thing about the solo lane now, which I'm both happy and sad to see go as well, is can't be taken until forts get taken down. Which, yeah, like, you can't kill the resource if you're winning the lane, but in essence, it's better in the long run for the game. I feel for both teams just because they do at least have that coming out. Lone Wolf hits a very nice stun on the I'm a Burb, however, does hit their bird, so to speak, as they're doing a decent amount of damage onto Lone Wolf, but makes a very good call to back out. Thank you to that Lunara vision there. And that will actually be this building going down, as there's not too much you can do to stop a 5-man running at it. I'm a Burb running into melee range with their ranged hero, Nemesis, taking a lot of damage and will be going down. Like I said, I love that Rexar build. It's one I use often. And that will be, however, the red team going down. Toxic Core does use stage dive to go all the way to bot to get that soak. I would like to see the red team balance it out here, considering we do have that kind of making sure everything is balanced, and that means they will have all the easy keeps down, all the forts down, balance out keeps, and we do actually see a ping here of retreat. You have quite a lot of beef, Red. You can dive it. You can dive it. They're not scary. There goes Misha. Misha, you're a good girl. You got in there first. Good stuff. And yep, that will be the top fort being taken by 30 seconds to Mosh. Everything is still very close, all to play for. But the good thing to note is there is still 16 advantage for the side of 30 seconds to Mosh. Diapan's taking a very aggressive rotation. The jukebox giving enough vision to kind of do anything. Diapan doesn't quite hit the hammer. If that did, that may have been a dead lone wolf. However, Blaze is not necessarily an easy kill, but it isn't hard or the less because they have the fattest hitbox in the game, I swear. Yeah, maybe outside Deathwing and Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, it is one of the biggest hitboxes in the game. And now we see objectives being picked up once again. Dangerous to have the Stukov by itself. Rek'Sai's fine, you can leave it to its own devices. However, they shouldn't be able to get this objective here. If they do, there's going to be a serious misplay by the side of Souls and Slowmo, and it was a free DK. Sure, they got camp out, but they still gave up DK. DK does a lot of push this map, but that is something you have to remember. And that is Val using a roll. Diapans actually hits the stun right under the gate. Impressive. And Myers takes a decent amount of damage from it. And that will be Lunara poison, meaning they are going to barely hold on. Oh, there we go. Popped at the end. So close yet so far that Lucio just doesn't have a burst healing to deal with that poison. That is actually Rek'Sai completing that quest. It's very good timing. And oh, that sucks to see Rejuvenecia coming in now. The Dragon Knight popping actually got the blaze off from Captain, stepping up quite far compared to Diapants, but out of a position compared to the tank. However, that was a very good flailing swipes by the Stukov, meaning that, well, the blaze combustion didn't connect. And that is ultimately very important in those sorts of fights where combustion can do a lot of damage, but it does need to hit to do that set damage. Oh my god, Vala's health had just disappeared. They get all that damage. Then ETC taking a lot of damage in the same process. That silent circle going down, meaning ETC cannot just slide out or stage dive out, which they didn't have it on cooldown, but there may have been something that was able to happen. Born to Shine is eating a Pyroblast. They're going to have to pop their pistol if they want to live, and they did so, and that is the Stukov living once again. Yeah, we see patience here. There is the pustule, and actually we do just see advantage here. There's a little bit of a messing around here, just kind of standing around not doing anything. They did just kind of wait. When you can't really still push into a core call here, because that is three pretty good heroes to defend. Oh, Diapant's not quite hitting the hammer, but I would like to see a building burn here. Captain does hit Nemesis, meaning they do have the building target them. Thank you to that call to arms that was added in maybe in 2020 now, when they did the anomalies, when they were doing the anomalies still. I can't quite remember. It feels right. It may have even been 2019. That was a while ago. I'm a Burb now in a bit of awkward position if they do get discovered, but we do see the Wisp kind of going up to give them vision. They're stepping into awkward position. I would like to see them scout with Misha. Lone Wolf showing her just a bit too early, meaning... Oh, maybe not. I'm a Burb is probably dead. Yeah. You have a... This is why I use Misha to scout quite a bit, especially in this area where death is had. And that is Lone Wolf dropping all their health. And ultimately, that is still a fight where you're down 20s. You don't necessarily want to take that. Diapant's actually eating a lot of damage. Spreads bomb to the Captain. Captain does use their ice block to cleanse it. Please, somebody go on stage dive down. Please, do it. Do it. No! Oh! Nope. Toxic Core does use it to go back and defend. Fair enough. Lucio is capping mid. Vala in a position to cap, not mid, bottom. Vala was potentially in a position to catch it. Oh, Mice does get hit by one ability. However, that is not... The E doesn't connect, so they aren't rooted. No, but Red does still have a 20 advantage, and similar in terms of team members. It's a 4v4. Whatever happens here will happen. Toxic Core does slide in, but that is not a place you want to be, my friend. Does get hit by the silence, does get hit by the stun. However, that does Dire Pants eating both charges of... Oh, that's a good way to spread it. That was Dire Pants eating both of the convictions. I believe it is double conviction. Not conviction. Flame Strike, yep, double Flame Strike. And now we just see, once again, it kind of even. We do see a lot of posturing, but the blue team is getting close to 20s. I don't think 30 seconds and Mosh wants Souls and Slowmo to get there, and we see Lone Wolf just kind of in a bit of an awkward position. Stun hitting them in the end. That is Born to Shine and hitting that root as well. That is a good combo, and that will be the Blaze coming down. The thickest boy in the game does indeed die. They unfortunately just eat all skill shots known to mankind. And this is a 16-minute DK. We're starting to get quite potent now. The blue team is one man down. This does appear to be an end call. Is it endable? We will find out in just a short few moments. I can see there is a timer down here. I don't know what it is out of, or I can see that the game's been 17 minutes long, including pre-game. I'm a Burp is hit by the stones, the stun circle that it was added to the core, once again in those anomalies. And that'll actually be the ETC going down without that front line. It looks like to be a end call indeed. We do have Stukov slapping the team away. Dire Pants just taking those shots. Will actually go down here. However, a little bit too late, as that is the second game going over to the side of 30 seconds to Mosh. GG. Anyway, let me go over to the game summary screen and push this button here. And one day I will actually do this. Not now, not in the middle of a stream, because that is for cowards, as Dax would say. And, well, I'm not a coward. Anyway. Things to note, Kael'thas once again did a lot of damage, took the very much the right idea of stacking off of Rexar, and kind of just rolled with it and actually back off in their stacks quite early, meaning they were able to get that damage up there. Janamix behind them, and then we just kind of have a all pretty close kind of rest for the DPS. Things to note was actually Toxic Core was quite low on the hero damage. I don't know if it's because they weren't able to survive. They did have the most deaths, but it was just a very painful blow-up comp where ETC does kind of have the same problem with Nubarak. Without their armor, they're quite squishy, and Mirrodin means you can't push your buttons. Stukov means you can't push your buttons. Those are two very important lockdowns, and speaking of which, we did see 51k healing from Born to Shine compared to 48 from Lucio, so that was good stuff considering it was a lot of short, quick fights. That was just so sad. I just think of Lucio just slowly being poisoned. It sucked to see, but sometimes it is how the cookie crumbles. Here are talents for anyone who's interested. Things that stand out to me. Once again, Conviction, interesting choice. If it works for Nemesis, it works for Nemesis. I'm not one to judge it too harshly. Interesting, we don't see the cooldown reduction from ETC. That is such a important talent. Usually, we do even see it with the stage dive, but they tried. Face melt was very much used to be the pick. Yes, wait. Not entirely sure, so it was interesting where that went. I think so. No, it wasn't full of a typical E build. We did see Violent Reaction to get a few kills. Otherwise, not too much to note for the rest of it. It's just Combustion. Combustion's always an interesting talent. When it works, but when it doesn't, it doesn't. And this is very much one of those, it doesn't. Anyway, that was it for that map. So what I'm going to do is throw it back over to the map view once again. I nearly clicked the wrong one. Transition. I'm going to put on the music. I'm going to mute myself as I set up the final map of the series. I don't know where all the maps went at the bottom. Anyway, we have Wolf Sky Foundry for our last map. We do have some interesting things here. What if I just click this? What will happen? Nope, still broken. We do have some interesting comps here, so it'll be interesting to see where we went. And did they swap sides right at the end? You making me push extra buttons, teams. Just do this, but ugh. How dare. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap over the game because we are now in Volskaya Foundry, as we did see the last map go to 30 seconds of Mosh. I don't know who picked it, but I'm sure someone may eventually tell me. Anyway, let's click this button. We're now in the game. On the left side now, we have 30 seconds to Mosh with Born to Shine on the Decade, Captain on the Jaina, Anarissa on... Is that Vala? Vala? I'm a Burb on Diva. And Diapant's actually once again a Muradin. On the right hand side, we see Lone Wolf on the Malfail. That's an interesting offlane matchup that we'll get into soon. Toxicor on Mei. Nemesis on Orthea. Jip on Zul'jin. And Mimias on the puppy. Rhaegar. I should really know his name. It was a panic. Oh, Diapant's got hit by Cleaves. However, oh, that was terrifying. However, that will be a hammer going out in return. Captain actually eating a lot of damage here. Jaina taking a lot. Very interesting step up from Jep. I would have liked to see a turnaround onto that Zul'jin and just seeing where we went from there. But however, that was all she wrote. Diva actually looking to double soak here. Interesting. I mean, they are one of the few people who can do on this map. Thank you to Boosters making it much easier. Toxicor actually eating a little bit of stun there, as they are just going to eat what they did. So, I'm a Burb does zoom out. That, however, is Lone Wolf staying on them. I'm actually going to watch this, because I may actually be able to describe here, because we see here, Burb taking a lot of damage. Diva Mech does not do well into the spooky Death Man himself, Malfail. However, Pilot, on the other hand, does not really take much from Malfail, but the damage stacks up quite quickly, as we see here. No, I'm going to give you an example here. Okay, if I'm a Burb doesn't find the wave. No, actually there's Lone Wolf being collapsed on. And even actually with I'm a Burb and wave and rest team showing up, that was actually still, I believe, in Baby Diva's favor, as they did a lot there. Captain Nosefig. No, we get a Let Me 1v1. And we get a no in return. Spicy. Anyway, we did see both camps picked up. Pliz, Anti, Let Me Stukov. I have a feeling there was a Stukov ban this game. I don't know where I get that idea, but I do believe there was one. Anyway, I felt like I was about to go into a weird David Attenborough impression. Just, here you see the... I can't do that currently. My throat is too dry, so let's not ruin my throat before I have to go back to work. Anyway, Diapant stepping to a bush. Toxic Corp. That's a nice hammer, actually. Unfortunately, Muradin doesn't get stacks anymore up until 10. It just kind of is what it is. I'm a bit ate a lot of big damage from Zul'jin. Actually, how stacked is Zul'jin? One you want Axe stack, which is not good for this point of the game so far. Actually, talking about stacks, we see, once again, a blue side Vala stacking puncturing arrows. We see 4 in it this time. Actually, Zul'jin has been sent down to deal with Burb, but Burb doesn't really want to deal with Zul'jin. Which, all in all, is reasonable. Lone Wolf does take that camp, but now we're getting a decent push here, actually, from the side of 30 seconds to Mosh. Diapant sitting in a nice position. Mimias actually gets hit by a hammer. That will be a very quick death from Rhaegar. And we do see a ping to do the support camp. Diapant sitting in a bit too aggressive position compared to the rest of the team. I would like to see the team a bit closer, because if the hammer is hit like that, then they'd be able to collapse on it a bit harder. However, as objective, going over first to the side of Souls and Slowmo. I hate that this is now flipped. I'm not going to be able to remember this. But that is a 7 advantage for the side of 30 seconds to Mosh. Umberberg taking a decent amount of damage, does zoom out as Zul'jin once again just stays very low on both stacks, even with Recklessness. Toxicor just eating a little bit of damage from the Burb. Burb does drop Nuclear option down, as they will get mech back, with just a few cooldowns being dropped either side. Toxicor getting peppered, Jep appears, that's Zul'jin just wanting more stacks, and Diva leaves immediately, not wanting Zul'jin to stack too much. However, those are 7s now over for the side of Souls and Slowmo, so this is once again an even fight, and they are getting their turret. We do see turret call is now made by 30 seconds to Mosh. It is a little bit later, so we'll see if that has any major effect on this fight coming. However, we can, for blue team, can actually see people on map up until very recently. Diapants putting down that little bit of thunder. Burb getting a decent amount of damage out, but actually eating a lot of damage himself, and that will be Mick going down. Not a tool you want down now. Burb just running away from the rest of the team, meaning they will not likely receive anything here. However, with Diva being chased down, the rest of the team, the red team, were missing their final targets. That is actually Nemesis taking a lot of damage going down. Anaressa will be soon to follow, thank you to that Toxic Core Snowball. Bornstein getting low themselves, does pick up their potion, will be able to get one more, and no, that is actually their corpse going flying. And that is Diapants out now. And that will likely be objective over to the side of Souls in Slowmo. Not those turrets still actually doing a lot of damage. Maya's taking a decent amount, but does have the healing to match it. As it probably was Totem Build again. Woo! Totem Build, Rhaegar. I think everyone got sick of seeing that after a while. And we do actually see both a front line in the Punisher itself and Punisher going bottom. After getting a little bit of a chip onto the gate of 30 seconds to Mosh. And here we go. I would like to see actually a fight going down here. Diapants does hit the stun to Jip. Bit awkward position, not really much able to happen. Would like to see someone in this game try to push past the Punisher, especially in this situation. That's a very squishy backline. But no, it looks like we just have both teams playing it kind of safe. I say that Punisher went very deep. Didn't actually find the fort with the hand. Did find Diapants instead. And that will be 10s now over the side of 30 seconds to Mosh. Hammer doesn't quite find home thanks to that. Oh, that is a nice sleep from Born to Shine. Diapants stepping up, eating a lot of damage from it. That Zul'jin damage is actually coming out quite strong. Hammer goes off in a bit of a random direction. Top score does get jumped on, taking a decent amount of damage. Diapants does have to drop Avatar for it. And that will be the Mei going down. Actually quite a hard target to kill at the end of the day. Does eat a lot. And actually this will be... Oh, yep, slow. This will be 10s now going through for the side of... Oh, Diapants eats a Crushing Jaws and will actually follow suit, much as their red team counterpart. Looking at 10s, we did see Soundwire listen from Born to Shine. Captain once again to go Water Elemental. That was Avatar picked up by the Muradin. Diva went Bunny Hop, something we don't see very often. You usually see Micro Missiles. And Rain of Vengeance from another Vala. On the right side, we did see Crushing Jaws from the Orphea. Last Rites of Malthael should do very well into Burb to get that stack pretty quickly. Diva, Mech. Not having the most health at the best of times. Rhaegar went Ancestral Healing, a common pick. I just wish for one Bloodlust, just a little bit of Bloodlust. Mei went Ice Wall, a very good isolation pick tool. And last, but certainly not least, Zul'jin went Taz Dingo. And we do see here just the healing camp being taken by the red side. Toxicor drops the... I can't remember what it's called. That is Diva Bomb coming out. Nuclear option being popped. Zul'jin does have to pop the Taz Dingo. And I feel like that is a Zul'jin going down. And actually we did also see Mei and Malthael going down in return, as there's a lot of fight going on in front. And Burb was able to split the backline off from the front line of Souls and Slowmo. This is feeling very different to the first kind of map once again, where it does feel like it's a bigger map in favor of... That could very much be in favor of Souls and Slowmo with that Rhaegar, with that Malthael. They have a lot of very good team fight, however, they're not really something's not connecting in these fights here. I wonder if they were rattled from the... kind of how long it took them to end on that first map, but they still have a chance. Like, it's still very close. It is only one fort down. Sure, it is the top fort, which this next objective is coming into. However, that is not too bad at the end of the day. Toxicor does get slide out. Hammer doesn't quite hit from Diapants, and that will be Toxicor safe and sound behind their gate. Yeah, I'm going to close that because I just saw Big Blizzard again, and I have no comment on that. It seems to be working out for Jaina a lot more than rest of the talents. I know the win rate actually of it has been going up a bit. And also, I'm just bad at Jaina, so I probably can't judge too much. Anyway, we do have this call here from the DPS of 30 seconds of Mosh. Actually pull... Oh, I actually like this. Actually just take and keep. They know they don't have to be here for a while. Objective takes a while to go. And they actually have better building kill than the side of Souls and Slowmo. You see it's taking a while. I'm a Burb actually gets instantly turned on. That is Lone Wolf going in on it. That is Burb dropping their mech. They pop the nuclear option. They keep running. There's a lot of damage coming out. They do manage to get mech deck down once again. And actually there's a very good tie. In terms of time, it's a very good stall onto the red side. Let's just have a look. Zul'jin now at 14. You want Axe stacks. And then they want 15 Arcanite. Axe's stacks. God, man, those are not easy to say. That is Bunny Hop popped. That is not much found. Icefall was also popped, doesn't get found, and even then the combo was a bit off. Toxic Core does give an Ancestral coming out of them. However, that is a lot of damage. That's an excellent free-man sleep by Born to Shine. There's a lot of damage coming out. However, Jane's first to go down. They have Jep and Nemesis on them the whole time. Burb peppering Jep does lose mech. That is unkillable pop, so that is Tars Dingo down. And Jaina does not, Diva does not find the cool. Diapants doing best, jumps on Jep. Jep dies actually. Hammer also hitting Nemesis in the process. Diapants needs that healing. They need to step up into the potions. They're taking a lot of damage. Lone Wolf didn't have, oh. Sure, they didn't have last rites, but they did at least have their big damage coming out. And Arisa does getting slowed. That was not good English. That is an excellent route under tower. Mamias takes a decent amount of damage. Born to Shine does get pulled back in. Nemesis didn't actually quite hit the Q. It was just off, and that will be a 3-for-1 from the side of 4-for-1 from the side of Souls and Slowmo. Just Jaina came back up before the fight even ended. Right, we should see at least top grabbed here. No, we are... Oh. Okay, Punisher a bit drunk. Punisher has made a decision. It is going to take top. And Captain's just going to stop. So I'm just watching the gun just go crazy, go wild. Actually, that will be the Punisher pushed out very quickly. Not the strongest objective in the game. Actually considered quite weak by a lot. As you can see, it's just getting pushed out. Hand comes out onto Born to Shine. Born to Shine pushed to safety. Does walk in the laser beam, eating a lot of damage. Zul'jin was getting peppered by that waylay, and that will be that kind of small scuffle ending. Once again, this objective kind of pushing into the gates. Getting actually all the gates down is not a bad play, not amazing, not bad. I'm a Burb using that matrix to kind of reduce all the damage, and actually that is 16 for both teams now. And Zul'jin, interesting talent 16 on Zul'jin. Does have that percent damage as well as the armor ignoring. However, they don't have the rest of the Q talent, so it means it's only on for 3 autos per Q. So not the... definitely an interesting talent. Not usually the ones you hear. Hand comes out once again just to give it last chip damage. And Met goes down in 3, 2, 1. It's done. And it looks like they're once again planning the pushing top. However, Born to Shine and Anaress are both there. Decade has an amazing way to stop any sort of pressure with that stay a while and listen. That is actually Dwarf Leap from Diapants. Doesn't quite hit the Q. However, Lone Wolf is now a bit out of position. I'm a Burb gets double stun onto Mamias. Thank you to that mech. That is nuclear option going off. Toxic Core eating about a quarter of their health and damage so far. Diapants stepping up into that potion, but however, that is the last rites going out. And the last rites is the last rites. If you're below a third of your health, you are going down. That is a good sleep by Born to Shine. That is actually May going down next. Born to Shine doesn't quite have the healing to keep alive. They do. Ah! And Arisa, however, wrong place, wrong time. I'm a Burb not there to tank anymore because they aren't that... Sorry, just interesting point. The captain may have misclicked there. You did see him walk into the enemy team and just kind of succumb as well. And we now see aggression coming, quite a good aggression coming up from Souls and Slowmo as they are wanting that camp. And Rhaegar already pretty good wave clear, just Nemesis and Jep helping. I should really say their names in this instance. Oh, we do see a chase down onto Lone Wolf. Does Diva have the boosters to catch up? This is a low speed chase. And that is Rhaegar Totem slowing I'm a Burb to a 0. And that is I'm a Burb leaving. Lone Wolf getting out safely. That is not something you necessarily fight into. Okay, we do actually see here that it is going to be a 5v3. I'm a Burb is slowed. They drop that nuclear bomb. That is actually a lot of damage coming out. They do get mech back. Blue team did actually cap the objective there. However, red team did get the turret itself. They're not willing to drop it just yet. There's a damage reduction and a slow coming out from I'm a Burb. Totem getting away once again. That was an amazing jump by Diapants. That just I believe it's Dwarf Toss. Yeah, Dwarf Launch, sorry. Just doing a lot to just slow down the enemy team. Wait, please. Oh, it's a heavy impact as well. Nice. Nice. I could talk about this build. It's not a standard build from Muradin. Muradin does not usually take these E-talents. They usually take Skullcracker and then, I don't know, either the auto attack slow or the push trait to heal, push D to heal. However, the combo of heavy impact and dwarf launch is an incredible chase ability. It just keeps people slow for a while, and they don't really have people to way to escape. You can see Muradin actually chase down a Tracer with this, which is amazing to watch, considering Tracer can actually be quite a bit of a problem at the moment, which amazing I don't see more people play her, albeit she is quite difficult, and she does die to things such as a point and click, I don't know, taunt from, I don't know, some weird Warcraft guy with a big sword and a shield, who can either choose 2 swords or an even bigger sword. Anyway, third objective called. We do see 20s now in for the side of 30 seconds to Mosh. And red is the red side of Souls and Slowmo looking to get what they can, trying to get those 20s out very soon. Right, in terms of 20s, we do see Respect the Elderly from Decades over Silence and Blind. Jep in an awkward position, Dwarf Launch falling a bit short, Ice Wall hitting Diapants. That's actually crushing Jaws, a little bit of a anti-synergy there. Diapants then hitting, no, not quite getting hit by that follow-up stun. This is an interesting fight the blue team on 30 seconds to Mosh is taking. We are seeing them dive into between essentially a rock and a hard place between the fort and the gates. Anyway, they're back out just to keep solidifying their lead. I would like to see them trying to just slowly convert the bottom objective while this is happening, but it doesn't appear to be so. Anyway, as I was saying, Respect the Elderly from Decade, Wintermute from Jaina, Rewind from Muradin, Ablative Painting? Yeah, Ablative Armor from Burb, meaning they're going to be much tankier into a lot of this damage. And then the Vala went Acrobat, so we're getting that full Q build. And we're very close to the 20s now for the side of Souls and Slowmo. The 20 advantage now gone for 30 seconds of Mosh. They're playing it very safely. We see no one can escape death. No one can stop death from the Malthael. Eldritch Conduit from the Orphea. Farseer's Blessing. Farseer's Blessing from Rhaegar. Shatter from May. And Tar's Dingo upgrade of Amani Resilience from the Zildjian. Anyway, let's close that as we do see Armor Burb taking a lot of damage start. Nuclear option is dropped and popped. That's actually a good kill onto actually the Malthael to start. Born to Shine doesn't quite find that sleep. And actually Malthael does use his return. May is next to go down. They were just too far away from the rest of their team. As we do see Rhaegar still has Ancestral up. We're about to see an Ancestral actually go out onto the Orphea. Jep taking a lot of damage as well. That will be Tar's Dingo popped soon. No, they did not pop Tar's Dingo. Armor Burb can chase down Nemesis still. Nemesis did get hit by Diapants Leap, and actually Dwarf Toss will be up again soon. Oh, Lone Wolf went in, not best position. It's awkward positioning around for. Oh. Last Riders went out on Born to Shine. I like to see a bit more aggression here from the reds, from the blue side. Keep Armor Burb on point, that's fine. They're Baby Diva. Rest of the blue team, it's a 2v4. Go. Take a building. Slap them. Do what you want. It's now a 2v4. It's much like how the last game started. It's echoes of the first game ending where there was a 2v4, 2v5 even, where the left team, the blue team, decided to take it. However, the blue team this time happens to be facing to Mosh because for some reason they swapped sides, and Souls and Slowmo other ones kind of now under the pump. As we do see actually May is respawning soon, as Malthael did have that extended death timer thanks to no one can stop death. For sure, they did give an instant respawn, but they can't just come back. Diapants does get the jump out, does get hit by a lot of stuns here, and oh my gosh, they're taking a lot of damage, and Arresta does roll out. Diapants once again getting very low, and actually that is a lot of damage coming out of Nemesis. Nemesis does get to live. They did manage to get actually 30% on the core, ignoring the shield, and now that is a damage that will get partially healed up. However, will be interesting to see what happens here. Malthael is coming up in just a few seconds. We do have a lot of pressure actually happening top, but it does look to be that an end call is being made for 36 to Mosh. Minus an awkward position, however, Ancestral Healing coming up on cooldown just actually at the same time as Malthael comes back from dying. Jep does get dove, does get hit by the first stun. No rewind there. There is actually Ancestral going out, meaning A little bit of diminished effect on Taz Dingo. A little bit of a double up. However, it looks like there is an end call definitely happening. As we do see core falling. That is 15% on it now. Born to Shine is being dove. Same with Dire Pants and Malfoil. Oh, Malfoil does get that kill with that last right spilly before. I can't remember his name. Gets to it. Jaina needs to drop their abilities on Core. Actually, that's Core going down. That is just a little bit of awkward of a fight. And actually, that will be Core going down thanks to the last few hits by I'm a Bird. There's a GG by both sides. And that will be the game and the series actually going over to 30 seconds to Mosh. Right, let me throw it over to my handy dandy game summary screen. With the chat is still going to stand in the way of it. You do not have a oh, it popped out of the perfect time. Wunderbar. Excellent. Anyway, we can see that this was a, once again, very even game. Orphe and Vala actually very close on damage. Jaina actually falling back a bit this game. However, Zul'jin wasn't allowed to get stacked, and that seemed, well, they did get stacked in the end, but it did very much slow down the momentum of Souls and Slowmo. If they were actually able to get those stacks up earlier, it may have been a very different game. However, the side of 36 and Mosh played it very smart, and we did see here, in fact, that the game and the series did go over to them. Anyway, I'm going to throw it over to, oh yeah, swap sides of it. That's weird to look at. I will go over back to my final screen as I will just transition to map view. And I'm going to swap these teams back around to their original sides because I'm going to complain about someone. Just shake my angry old man stick going, why is it like this? Anyway, that is all. We did see a 2-1 win from 36 to Mosh. However, both sides did very well there indeed. I have been your host of this evening, Lime Bus. You can find me here at Twitch, funnily enough, where I'm been casting, as well as I do have a YouTube channel under The Lime Bus, I believe. Anyway, that is all for this evening, wherever you are. I hope you have a good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon. Time zones are weird. Anyway, I will see you all in the Nexus. Goodbye.